Well, hello guys. Welcome to Redneck Ways. How y'all doing this evening? It's about 11 o'clock in the evening here in Kentucky. And I thought I'd make a short video. Say hello to everybody. Hope everybody's doing good. And to wish you all a great weekend. But yeah, guys, I was been tinkering around with the old radio we worked on last night, and I actually changed the capacitors. But I changed it back because it sounded like crap. It's weird because when I put the new capacitor in, it just had a bunch of hum and everything. I'm starting to wonder if I got a bunch of bad capacitors off of that place I ordered them from, Just Radios. I don't know. I shouldn't say that till I know. But anyway, it was just horrible. So I put the old ones back in, and it's still not good. I mean, I guess it's to be expected because they are the old capacitors, but it's just not good. I don't know. It may be another capacitor in there that's bad, so we may have to change them all to find it. I don't know. But I hope everybody's been having a great Friday, and I hope everybody's going to have a great weekend. And I wish you all a great weekend. I have just been sitting here getting ready to go make me a little something to eat here soon, and made me a little campfire. And when I made the campfire, I thought it'd be a great time to tell you guys this little ghost story. I don't know if you guys like ghost stories or not, but working on all that old stuff and just brings back all these memories and stuff from my papaws and my mamas and all that. And I got thinking about this story that my papa on my mom's side, my mom's dad, told me. And he just started out back in the 50s and 60s. You know, people, they had jobs, plus they worked other things to make ends meet. Well, my papa, he made these old chairs out of willow. He made rocking chairs, he made love seats and everything. Well, like I said, they made them out of willow. So they would go out and cut them. They go out in the wild and cut the willow, because willow bends real easy. You know, you can make your arches and stuff. And I'm sure y'all have seen it. If y'all been to Gatlinburg or Smoky Mountains or stuff, there's usually some of these chairs up there, some of these rocking chairs made out of willow. Well, Papa, it was about around Christmas time, so he was wanting to get, you know, he needed some extra money for the kids. He wanted to get, you know, some nuts and some candy, and like he wanted to get maybe a doll for each of these daughters and stuff. So he needed to make some extra chairs. So him and his friend one night, they had to go get some lumber, so they knew and where a bunch of willow was. Unfortunately, it was in a cemetery. Well, one night they hopped in the old 50s pickup truck, and they rumbled up to the old cemetery. It's probably about 10 miles away from the house. I'm not really for sure. He didn't tell me how far, but he said it took them a little while to get there. But they got there, and they pulled up. It was kind of like an old gravel road, and they kind of circled up around it, and it came in and out. Well, they finally got there, and Papa said he shut the truck off, and they got out, and they sat there, and he brought some coffee. He brought a thermos of coffee, and he said, you know, both of them got a cup of coffee, and they smoked some cigarettes, because the willow trees was down over the hill from the cemetery. Well, they were sitting there, and, you know, talking and everything and drinking their coffee, and they smoked their cigarette, and then they headed down over the hill. Well, Papa had left his headlights on his pickup truck so they could see to get down over the hill and everything, and that way they wouldn't fall over no roots or nothing, and trip and fall and hurt themselves. So he said they got down there and they was cutting. He said they cut quite a bit of wood, quite a bit of willow, and they had made 2 or 3 trips up to a pickup truck, and they had a pretty good stack on the back. And they had down for their last load. They was going to cut. Well, they was all busy and everything, and kind of joking around, laughing, giggling. And Papa said he just happened to look over the back of his shoulder, and the graveyard had become like this fog, like a mist. Which, that's pretty typical. I mean, in the late evening, fog does set to the ground. But he said what was strange, he kind of made this shape out of like a fisherman's hat, like a weird looking hat, kind of coming toward him. And he said he took a second look, and he's like, what in the world? He's just flabbergasted about it. And he was like, what, am I seeing what I'm seeing? Well, when it got closer, he could see that it was like almost like a human. It looked like a human, but they was floating and they didn't have no legs. So at this point, Papa thought, there was something wrong. He's like, did I not take my blood pressure medicine this morning or what? Which I don't know if they had blood pressure medicine back then. But anyway, he said he looked over to his friend, and he didn't have to say anything because his friend was looking at the very, very same thing. And they all both headed, they was just gone. They ran to the truck, and Papa said he jumped in there, and they forgot to tie down what lumber they had on the back, and that stuff was going everywhere. But he said they got out of there. But he said, he looked in his mirror, and that whatever that ghostly thing was, it was literally floating over the back of the bed of the truck. Like when they was trying to get out to the gate of the cemetery, it was kind of like, I wouldn't call it chasing, but it was just floating. It floated right over the top of it and down over the hill, Papa said. And, Papa, he don't tell me, he was never much, lying. I never knew him lying, so. But he told me all kinds of these crazy stories about these ghosts and stuff. And my mom, she can back it up to a couple houses that they used to live in, because they used to rent these really old houses that was kind of ran down, and Papa would fix them up, and which they heated with coal. It'd be only like a stove like this, and they put coal in it in one room. So just old houses out in the country, and they just had these awful stories, which that was one of them. And it was crazy, guys, and then maybe later on I'll tell you more. But ghosts, I do believe, they're there, and I've had a couple little encounters myself. So luckily I have it for a long time. But anyway, guys, I thought that'd be fun for a Friday evening campfire story. So I hope everybody's doing fine. And like I said on that radio, I'm going to probably put more capacitors in it. I'll probably change them all because it just is not sounding good. Excuse me, guys. But anyway, guys, until the next time, I'll see you right here on Redneck Ways. Bye, guys.